it true? Has Obsidian's Abisu's come back?
All signs point to yes, but the shadows are hiding their chaos for now. Building an army, one would assume. The void cracks allow other creatures to come through, but it will take the shadows time to create an army strong enough to oppose us. By then it'll be too late. We still have time before our realms collapse around us. Once they go, we expect the members from the Order of Light will arrive. They can help hold off the shadows. What about the rogue members that followed Obsidian's Ubisus into our realm? That Dream Priest is a problem. We suspect contact from a power source. Dream Priests are inferior. It will not matter to our plan. We only need to wait until the blue star aligns with the planets. This will open the door to the throne and allow us to take our rightful place as leaders of the Master Realm. What about the Overseers? They are aware of our plan and have a plan of their own. It involves the 12 and the Green Bull to use our magic against us. Then we know what we must do. The Overseers and their allies must not sit on the throne. What about the Shadows of Chaos? Can we use them? For the Overseers? Yes, but we cannot allow Obsidian's Abisus to use the 12 again. Then it is settled. We now know what we must do. We will seek out the 12, Dream Priest and others. We will destroy them. We will destroy the Green Bull. All hail the elders, supreme rulers of the Master Realm. Welcome to the quest for the Green Bull, the war within, and welcome to a new season. Can you believe it? This is our 10th year anniversary of this league, and the 6th since we started our quest in the midst of the war between the Elders and Obsidian's Abisus. Our journey into the Master Realm has cost us 2 more league members, with Elder Magic once again replacing them with conjured beings. To them, they were just born. So all they know is fantasy football, right? Well, we'll see. We just had our draft for a season that will be the most important in our cosmic horror saga. Who won the draft? Well, let's take a look at our preseason power rankings. Clearly, Golden Ticket is at the top with another season of 4 third-round picks acquired in trades. There are some surprises, though, as some of these rankings differ from the NFL.com fantasy-only rankings we received hours after our draft. These particular rankings incorporate all the other major fantasy ranking websites as well as NFL.com. Last year's runner-up and former champion, Remember the Titans, newcomer, the Fighting Mooses, and former champion Green Acres are all closely battling for that second spot in the rankings. All have very high probabilities of making the playoffs at 80% or more. The Overcomers come in at 5th, while the Stars Are Right, 2-time champion Loki Lebowski Thor, former champion Thorlacker, newcomer Treatum and Yeatum, and defending champion Pounders are all close for that 6th spot. All of them are only percentage points apart. So anybody can make the playoffs, and as we know, these rankings don't mean all that much.
The Stellar Bitches and the Clash at Demon Head are certainly hoping for that, as right now they are at the bottom of the rankings. But you got to keep in mind, no preseason number one ranked team has ever won the Green Bowl. Let that sink in. In fact, 4 preseason number one ranked teams didn't even make the playoffs. Wow. Golden Ticket's hoping that doesn't come true. Injuries are usually a reason why, though a few seasons it was because of the coach not setting their lineup. I don't think we have that problem anymore. Now, the preseason rankings usually give us fun week 1 storylines, as all 12 of us have hopes to claim the title. But the anticipation of seeing our drafted players in action is also a big storyline. So let's break down a few value draft picks and 3 picks that could lead teams to a fantasy title, in my opinion. 1 pick with value is wide receiver Xavier Worthy of the Overcomers, pick 72nd in our draft. Ranked 51st, though. Worthy had solid semifinals and Green Bowl weeks with over 60 yards and a touchdown in both of those weeks last year. He also had 3 rushing touchdowns during the season to show off his versatility and speed. He helped Pounders claim a title, obviously, but really, he was a disappointment when you look at his numbers. He had just 638 receiving yards, 104 rushing yards. His touchdowns really saved him, but he did go a stretch with just 2 touchdowns in 8 weeks, and it brought his scores down those weeks. Again, though, he was a rookie and he had a strong finish. He had 50 catches in his final 8 games, showing a rapport with Patrick Mahomes, especially with Rashee Rice out for the year. Rice is now suspended to open 2025, so Worthy will most likely be the number 1 receiver for the Chiefs. But Isaiah Pacheco is back from injury and Travis Kelce has Swifty powers in what might be his last season. They can both steal targets in the passing game, obviously. Still, Worthy can very easily put up low-end wide receiver 1 or high-end wide receiver 2 numbers. And with a pick in the 72nd spot, that is some value to have. Another value pick is wide receiver Jamison Williams of Loki Lebowski Thor, pick 60th. Rank 48th. Last season, Williams had over 1,000 yards and 8 total touchdowns in a high-powered Lions offense. In the fantasy playoff time, he had touchdowns each week, including 2 in Week 17. His flaw was targets, which limited his yards some weeks, but again, his targets went up by the end of the season. He averaged 7 targets a game after Week 11. Williams also finished as a top 15 receiver 5 times with 4 weeks as a top 10 receiver. For a player picked 60th, those are some solid wide receiver 2 numbers, and the upside could be better if he picks up where he left off last year. Now we're going to move on to the players I think will have a large impact, who will be called upon week after week to lead teams to the promised land. Right now I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey of the Clash at Demon Head as a player that can win you a league. He was picked 3rd here, ranked 12th. So picked a little high, but the problem with McCaffrey, the reason why he was dropped at 12th, is that he always has an injury, and he's always an injury away from killing your chances. He tends to get injured more often than not, as I said. But if he puts up numbers from 2 years ago, those types of numbers, look out! Again, needs to remain healthy. In 2023, he had over 2,000 yards and 21 touchdowns. That's well over 300 fantasy points. Easily going to be the type of guy that get Green Bowl MVP. The Clash of Demon Head wants the 2023 McCaffrey. Next, I'm looking at Nico Collins of the Fighting Mooses, who took Collins with the 17th pick, despite Collins being ranked 8th overall. Collins is healthy again and will look to build on his numbers from last season. To fall to the 17th pick could be huge for this league rookie here. The Fighting Mooses is loving this. Collins had over 1,000 yards and added 7 touchdowns in just 12 games. He missed several games last year with injury. And really, he played in just 11 games when you think about it, because the injury took him out early in that Week 5 game. He could have had close to 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. The key, obviously, is going to be his targets. He had 8 or more targets in 7 games and double-digit targets in 5 games last season. That's a lot of volume for a guy that has a rookie in Christian Kirk as really the only competition to get to steal those targets away. And the added value of this pick falling into the late 2nd round could end up being the difference for the Mooses to make a deep run. Obviously, Jamar Chase of Golden Ticket is also a league winner. Everybody knows this. Am I really telling you something different? But I actually choose him here. I choose to highlight him here because he fell to the 4th pick. This is a player ranked 1st on a fantasy team that had multiple 3rd-round draft picks. Chase falling to 4 could end up being the safest bet to a top 3 player on a squad that already is going to have top talent because of all those draft picks. When you get a player who has the potential to get 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns like Chase did last season, you're going to be feeling pretty good. And Chase doesn't seem to be slowing down as long as Joe Burrow's throwing his way. The two have a rapport like no one else, and Chase is entering the prime of his career. While he may have a touchdown regression, the yards should remain the same, and when you get over 225 points by a wide receiver, you are setting yourself up for success. His one downfall is a slow start last season, as the Bungles like to do, but he also had over 30 points in a week 3 times and double-digit weeks 11 times. That's not just consistency, but beast potential that somehow fell to the 4th pick in the draft. That's crazy. Crazy! Lastly, I want to name 7 sleepers to get our other fantasy teams some play here. These players are ones to watch out for that might be keys to starting lineups by the end of the season. Emeka Egbuka from Remember the Titans is a talented wide receiver, and Chris Godwin is not healthy. This means that Egbuka could get the number 2 role behind Mike Evans and could be a solid wide receiver too. That would be a huge production out of an 8th round pick. Wide receiver Matthew Golden, the stars are right, that's my squad, is another rookie who could see more volume due to injuries with the Packers receiver core. Golden has speed, but he also can run routes and does not drop the ball. Jordan Love has lacked a talent like this. Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and Romeo Doubs have made plays. But Watson is usually injured, Doubs and Wicks have been inconsistent, and Reed is more of a wild card with his rushing touchdowns. Golden gives Love the opportunity to have a real number 1 wide receiver, and getting wide receiver 2 numbers out of the 9th round could be key to a playoff run. Running back R.J. Harvey of Thorlacker is a rookie with starter potential for Denver. Harvey has to contend with J.K. Dobbins, who has injury history, but Sean Payton tends to employ running back by committees that actually give stats to multiple backs. Harvey has speed and agility. He can also catch the ball. To me, in a Sean Payton system, I see the potential for an Elvin Kamara type of rookie breakout. Running back 1 numbers out of the 4th round is insane and could be what Thorlacker needs to get back on top. Even low-end running back 2 numbers would be a steal in the 4th round when you think about how many running backs go in the first 3 rounds in this league. A combo sleeper is Tyrone Tracy Jr. of Pounders and Cam Scatabo of the Stellar Bitches, because one of them has to put up numbers, right? Tyrone Tracy had just 6 touchdowns a year ago. Also had 5 total fumbles. But he seems to have a little bit better of a quarterback situation and will get carries most likely as a starter to begin with. Jackson Dart may take over for Russell Wilson. That might be a good thing. Tracy's the veteran who will most likely again get that start. And he showed some potential and some flashes. If he didn't just fumble the ball, he would have been doing better. And for a player picked 91st overall, running back 2 or flex numbers are absolutely gigantic. The problem is, again, if he keeps fumbling, then the rookie Scatabo might take over. He has to work back from a hamstring injury and also has to show he can handle an NFL workload after having over 300 touches in his last college season. But he's a big back who can break tackles. That, to me, screams touchdown machine, and he might end up having value even if Tracy is the starter. Not bad for a 9th round pick. Wide receiver Travis Hunter of Treat 'em and Eat 'em is a Jaguars rookie. He can be a machine, but also is so versatile, he could play on defense as well. Limited offensive snaps is the only thing that can hold Hunter back, in my opinion, but he could very easily be a solid wide receiver too coming out of the 6th round here. Hunter's other flaw is route running, but he can make tough catches. And is it really bad if he gets practice on both defense and offense? He might become a better wide receiver sooner because of all that practice. Our last sleeper is running back Travion Henderson of Green Acres. The Patriots rookie is a speedster who can catch passes out of the backfield. He also wasn't overused in college, so he might actually be ready for more touches in the NFL. Many see him as a player with running back 2 potential. That's good value out of the 4th round, again in our league, but this is with the expectation of him only getting 12 to 15 touches because it's being correlated with what he did in college. I actually see the potential for 20 touches in this offense. I think that they could use him even more. And low-end running back 1 numbers, because of those extra touches, would be huge for Green Acres. It's very exciting to see how all these players do throughout the season, if they will live up to the hype, if some will surprise, and if others will bust. And week 1 starts it all. So let's look ahead to our first as we get a rematch of the 2024 Green Bowl between defending champion Pounders and runner-up Remember the Titans. We're currently in the graveyard as we begin our quest in the Master Realm. So before we get to this matchup, let's continue our story.
Oh, my head. Is everyone else okay?
Not feeling great, but the migraine from gate travel will go away.
Yes, we are all okay as I can sense. The others seem to be shocked and distraught though.
Then I will ease their pain and allow them to follow us while thinking they are still playing their fantasy football season. Their dream state will protect them until we need to awaken them.
Won't they still dream of these conversations and interactions? Won't they know?
I assume so, but wouldn't you want to escape this reality in a world of fantasy football?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Who's there?
Do not worry. I have been expecting you. The name is Kian, and I'm an Overseer Council member. I know who you all are.
Overseer? You're the other faction of the Master Realm. What is this place?
A curse by the Elders. The graveyard is on the outskirts of our world. When Overseers are defeated, their lost souls are doomed to roam this place. Do not be afraid. They could only harm you if you fear them.
It's a good thing we've seen scarier things then.
And a good thing that Mario made sure the others are occupied in dreams to win the Green Bowl.
Ah, I see the previous Chosen One who goes by the name Pounders and a former Chosen One who goes by Remember the Titans is playing in a big match.
How do you know about their fantasy games and dreams?
We know about the Chosen One and the Elder Magic. You see, we too have a legend here in the Master Realm, that one day when the blue star aligns with the 3 planets, a Chosen One will sit on the throne and enter the center of the Master Realm as the supreme ruler. The legend speaks of 2 options, a ruler of chaos or a ruler of balance, but we believe there is a 3rd option, a ruler of balance and compassion.
Where are the other overseers? And how can we trust you? The shadows have deceived us before.
They are all in hiding. And you should not blindly trust me. I need to earn your trust. That is the Overseer way. Just note that the shadows do not possess the power to possess us or the Elders. That may only happen if they sit on the throne.
Let me guess. The legend of the one with balance and compassion is an overseer? You?
No. But I am tasked with guiding you across this realm, which is a very dangerous place since the war started between my people and the Elders. There are 12 total sections, including this one, we must all travel through before we reach the courtyard, and eventually the Temple of the Eye. This is where the throne will be when the gate is unlocked. Our leader is primed to sit on the throne should we succeed. If an Overseer reaches the center of the Master Realm, he can control the Elders and bring peace and balance back to all realms.
We fear the other realms are lost.
Nothing is ever lost. As long as the others play and crown a champion, anything is possible. I mean, how fascinating is the strategy to control the chaos? Aren't you excited to know if Pounders continues a celebration of glory in week 1? Or if Remember the Titans gets a little revenge to bring hope for another strong year?
Well, when you say it like that, it could be an exciting escape from all the death and destruction we've seen.
And if it means we can end this war and send the shadows back to the void, then I'm all for it.
What other choice do we have? It seems we have to follow you for now.
Excellent. Then let us travel through the graveyard and enjoy the game of the week to pass the time. Now, one more thing. We do believe Obsidian's Abyssus is on one of the planets, building an army to take over the Temple of the Eye, and the Elders will certainly be coming after us soon too. Death is always a possibility. This is just the reality of the Master Realm.
Remember the Titans is favored to take this one with a 58% chance to win. Pounders will have CeeDee Lamb in his lineup over Mike Evans once a trade goes through. He also will need to play someone else in the flex, with Derrick Henry being traded before the season started as well. He also received Jacoby Myers in the trade, but has other options. CeeDee Lamb will be the top receiver in terms of projections, but don't count out Drake London and Jackson Smith and Jigba, keeping it close. Scary Terry McLaurin will certainly be counted on by pounders as well here. Josh Jacobs and Chuba Hubbard are close in projection to Jamar Gibbs and Tony Pollard, but the slight edge goes to pounders backs. George Kittle is the clear favorite to win the tight end battle, but remember the Titans is hoping for a rookie wide receiver to step up in his flex. Tetaroa McMillan could easily be considered a sleeper, but experts actually believe he could be a top 20 wideout during the fantasy draft. The Steelers' defense and kicker Caleb McLaughlin are favored to outscore the Texans' defense and kicker Jake Bates. In terms of players to watch, I'm actually turning to the two quarterbacks here. For remember the Titans, he has second-year Drake May. May has skills. He showed he can throw the ball. He showed he can scramble and use his legs to make plays, much like a young Josh Allen. But he also now has a better offensive line and a few more playmakers. Still, Stephon Diggs and Mac Hollins are not world beaters, and he did throw some questionable passes last year as well, finishing with 10 interceptions. He did end up with 421 rushing yards, and if he can improve his passing just a little and continues to run that well, May could end up being a top 12 quarterback in fantasy or better, which obviously would make his draft pick big, and it would be big for, remember, the Titans, who waited a while to get his quarterback. But if he continues to throw interceptions and cannot increase his touchdowns, he could be a bust, and not the kind of starting quarterback you want on your fantasy team. For pounders, he's going with Justin Fields, who he must really believe in. He's got Fields as his guy. Fields is another quarterback who uses his legs, but for Fields, he's more of a short pass and run first kind of player. Fields has not shown the ability to consistently stretch the field, but is usually good for a few big throws a game, albeit usually underthrown and the receiver making a play. He can run well with blocking too, and if he ends up with over 700 rushing yards, he could be a solid fantasy quarterback. He could be like top 5. However, the Jets aren't expected to score a lot. Limited touchdowns and opportunities on offense will hurt. If Fields can run at this high level, though, getting over those 700 yards, make a few big throws a game, he could end up being, like I said, at least top 10, maybe even top 5. But if he takes a step back passing the ball and doesn't get enough opportunities to score, he will have inconsistency problems. Overall, these two quarterbacks will certainly set the stage for this Green Bowl rematch. And while many eyes will be on this one, we do have some other good matchups in Week 1 as well. The Cash of Mentats rivalry award is up for grabs as Jaden Daniels and the Stars Are Right face Joe Burrow and Loki Lebowski Thor. The Stars Are Right have a 53% chance to win. Jamar Chase and Golden Ticket takes on league rookie the Fighting Mooses and Nico Collins. Golden Ticket has a 59% chance to win. Derrick Henry and Thorlacher take on Justin Jefferson and Green Acres in a battle of former divisional foes. Thorlacher has a 64% chance to win because Green Acres needs a defense and kicker. Last year's Dick Butt, the Overcomers, and Saquon Barkley takes on league rookie Treat 'em and Eat 'em and the Sun God. The Overcomers have a 67% chance to win. Finally, Christian McCaffrey and the Clash at Demon Head takes on Bijan Robinson and the Stellar Bitches. This one is a 50-50 toss-up, the closest one projected by the computers. A fun slate of matchups in Week 1. Let the games begin! And that's the show for the week! Hope you enjoyed it. Join us next week as we break down the Game of the Week results and preview the next one, and we continue our journey in the Master Realm. Until next time, salut.